Hello, my loves. Welcome back. Okay, so today I want to talk about forgiveness. And the reason why I want to talk about forgiveness is because I feel like when you're on this spiritual journey, right, forgiveness is very, very complicated. And I I can only talk about my experience with forgiveness because even now, it's something that I have a little trouble with, right? Because forgiveness isn't just black and white. It's not. But I do feel like it's really important for your own individual healing, and it's important for you to move on, right? And you know how they say forgiveness isn't for the other person, forgiveness is for you. And that couldn't be more right, because when you, at least from my experience, when you hold on to this anger and this hatred, which, look, your emotions are valid. There is no time frame to how long you should forgive somebody. And I know that a lot of people and a lot of family members are always telling you to forgive these people because they're blood, or you have to forgive this person because of A, B, and C. And so forced forgiveness 100% causes a lot of resentment. But like I said, there is no time frame to how you should forgive, when you should forgive. But the one thing that I can say for sure is that when you do hold on to all of this anger and hatred, it turns into resentment, right? But it makes you very, very, very bitter. And I understand there are people that never want to forgive people, and that's okay. Like, there are people who go their entire lives and being okay with not forgiving people. And I want to say that that's okay. Like, your emotions are valid. You don't have to forgive if you don't want to. And so I'm only going to speak on my experience and why I want to talk about this. But remember, no matter what I say, your healing journey, your emotions are valid for you. No one should ever tell you when you should forgive or how to heal. This is your journey, specific for you. So no matter what anybody says, if you don't feel like it's your time, then it's not your time, and that's okay. You don't need to be forced to do this. Okay, so my experience with forgiveness. It's complicated because I know that when, obviously, I've forgiven a lot more than when I was younger. I used to have a lot of anger and resentment, and at the end of the day, all it did was manifest in me with heavy, heavy, heavy energy, like in a dense frequency. And that manifested in self-hatred for myself. It manifested in me projecting my traumas and my anger and my insecurities onto people who did not deserve it. And so to forgive people that have hurt you, that comes with a lot of self-awareness. And that comes with, at least in my experience, it comes with the understanding that the people that have hurt you don't know any better, and the people who have hurt you are probably 100% wounded themselves. However, this is where forgiving is complicated, because that's not an excuse for their actions, right? So forgiving people has come with a lot of inner work for myself and self-love to get to the point to understand that two things can exist at once. Somebody can hurt you and it cannot be fair, and they should have never hurt you like that. But then also, once you work past all of that anger and you heal those traumas, you can now put yourself in a higher self perspective, which all it's going to do is help you heal at the end of the day, remember. But you're going to put yourself in a higher self perspective and see, oh shit, this person hurt me because they're hurting. And I can see that now. And that's why forgiveness comes with a lot of awareness. Because it does. Like, you don't want to use that as an excuse as to why people hurt you. And it's not an excuse. But remember, the awareness helps you move on and helps you heal from whatever it is that you went through. Also, forgiving, that doesn't mean that you need to be, if you're not comfortable with having this person in your life after you forgave them, then you don't need that. If you don't feel comfortable with having a relationship with them, you don't need to do that. Forgiving doesn't mean allowing. Forgiving doesn't mean that you need to go back to what it was previously. From my understanding of forgiveness, all it is it helps you, like I said previously, with your healing journey. And it helps you understand other people on an empathetic, deeper soul level. And so by understanding other people, right, and deciding to heal yourself and to lead with love, or to just try your best to be happy, that overall raises the wellness of your life, the happiness of your life, right? And like I said previously, if you don't feel like you need to forgive yet, then don't do it. Like, forgiveness isn't so black and white. It's very, very complicated because, I'm going to share a little with you guys. And remember, I share just because I know that there are people out there who need vulnerability in people and who need people who are open. So with my dad, for instance, and see, it is so complicated still, because there was a time where I absolutely did not want to be around my father. And I had to do a lot of inner work to be here and to not argue back, right? And to not want to show him like, hey, you fucked up. Because all that was doing at the end of the day was hurting me. Like, it really was hurting me. It takes a very strong individual to take a step back and understand when you don't need to react to situations, because your reaction is coming from a wounded place first and foremost, which is okay, but it is. And your reaction just isn't going to help the argument or situation, because as much as you've healed and done the inner work and forgave people, and this is why forgiveness is complicated too, as much as you've forgiven other people, that person that you forgave, or that person that you're trying to understand, has probably not done the inner work that you did. And we can't expect other people to be at the frequency or to be at a place of healing and self-love like we are. Sometimes people will never, ever, 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 ever get there. And that's where forgiving others, I guess, is bittersweet, because like I said, it's for yourself, but you're forgiving them with the understanding that you're not going to get the apology that you've wanted, right? And that's why forgiveness is for you, because you have to understand all of this, that you're probably not going to get the apology that you wanted, that you're probably not going to get the conversation that you wanted, right? That they're never going to probably have a healthy conversation with you and see your side of things, because they're wounded, and because they aren't doing the inner work, and because they're in their own reality, and their reality is true for them. And so at the end of the day, forgiving, like I said, it comes with just a lot of understanding of others and the deep, deep, deep want to better your life and to heal yourself, regardless if like your healing process does not depend on somebody else's apology, is not dependent on somebody else's awareness of how they hurt you. It's not. And that's, the sadness of it, but it's not. Your healing journey is dependent on you and how much you put the inner work and how much self-love that you have for yourself and how much awareness you have for who you are and awareness for others, right? Because when we are in a place of reacting through a hurt ego, we want others to see us and our pain, even though the people that we want to see that way, want to see us that way, will never, ever, ever see it that way. So then you're in a constant cycle of just arguing and fighting and exhausting your energy and putting out frustrated energy over and over and over, because it's like you're talking to a brick wall. And so when we're reacting through a wounded ego, wounded emotions, we want people to see us, to choose us, to see how they hurt us, and then we will forgive. But that is acting through that wounded ego of wanting to be seen. And so when you act through a higher self space and perspective, which takes a lot of inner work and healing, and there's no time frame to that, but when you're reacting through a higher self perspective, you can take a step back, right? And say, okay, by me reacting, all I'm doing is putting my life through more stress. I have to be okay with the fact that they're never gonna get it. And that's okay. It's okay, because I need that closure for me. I give myself closure. I don't need that closure for healing. And so you can see from a higher self perspective and say, look, I understand that this person is hurt. Like with my father, I have to understand that my dad has a lot of wound within him, and his inner child is very fucking hurt. And I've done so much inner work and self-love and, meditation and everything, that I had to work through all of that anger and resentment. And so I now see him as his inner child that needs a lot of love. And this is where the complication of forgiving others, I guess the topic comes up, because although I would love to love him, and I do love him, but I don't talk to him. It's very rare. There's parts of me that would love that would love to give him love, but being around him is just a lot. It's heavy. And so forgiveness is such an adult emotion to understand. Even adults don't get it. Because you can sit here and now see, like, fuck. You just feel bad for their wounds. And you wish you can now help them like you've helped yourself. But in certain situations, you just can't, because it's not good for your own mental health. At the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you, right? And that's why I say sometimes forgiveness means giving space also, and protecting your energy and having healthy boundaries, even if it's difficult. And I've had to come to the conclusion that I have to be okay with that. I have to be okay with not having, like, my dad was, he put a roof over our heads and he tried his best, right? But there are things that he felt short of with his anger and violence. And that's where forgiveness is complicated too, because I can see that he tried his best to be a good father, and he would give the shirt off of his back for us. But then there are parts of him that are very, very dark. And now I see that those parts was because he comes from a wounded household. And so that's where my forgiveness comes in and says, you know what? I understand you tried the best that you can with what you were given, although it doesn't give an excuse. You were an adult and you could have healed yourself. But I get it. And I get it because I'm now in that space to understand, and I no longer want to be angry. I no longer want to be angry. I no longer want to be hateful. I no longer want to hold this energy. Like, I come from a very angry, violent household, and I was so exhausted of those emotions. Like, from the get-go, I was conditioned to think that way, to react with violence, to react with yelling, to react, with abuse. And it just gotten to the point to where I was just so fucking tired of feeling that heavy cloud over my head. So tired. And I needed to do the inner work to work through that, right? And then along the way came forgiveness. But forgiveness is complicated. Even now, me seeing him as this wounded child, there's always going to be parts of me that were, I guess, sacrificed. My inner child had to grow up really fucking fast, being the oldest, I had to grow up fast. I had to be the protector, for my siblings. I had to do that. And that's what I'm saying, forgiving it, that there's parts of me even now after I've done all of this work where some days it's just like, fuck, that wasn't fair. That really wasn't fair. So I really don't believe forgiveness is such black and white. Maybe for certain people, but nobody can tell you how to do this. Nobody can tell you to just forgive because it's a family member or it's someone you've known for years. Like, you know what's best for you, and you need to listen to how things and people make you feel at the end of the day. And the only advice, I guess, or one of the big advices I can give to you is forgiving is really for yourself. It really is for yourself, and you do it for you. Obviously, you don't have to if you don't want to, but from somebody who comes from a lot of anger and hurt, the moment I tried and practiced forgiveness was the moment I released all of that dark, heavy cloud off of me. Because I was no longer holding on to this anger and manifesting this anger in my life, and it reflected back at me through everything that I did, through jealousy, through I couldn't be in healthy relationships because of that anger. Like, it really manifested in every single part of my life. And yeah, forgiveness is for you. If you have the chance to even just try, do it for you. Be selfish with it. It's okay to be selfish when it comes to forgiving, because I feel like it just holds so much over you and your growth and your healing, and nobody should ever hold power over you and your healing journey and your spiritual journey or your process or whatever you resonate with. Nobody should hold power over that. That is up to you. And to release all of this energy feels really good. And forgiving helps you release. Because when you hold on to all of these emotions for too long, that's when depression and all of these, I guess, low density, dense emotions come into play. And the whole purpose of the healing journey is to feel, but then release, to make space for your emotions and know that it's okay to feel these things, but don't hold on to it too long. Release it. And forgiving is part of that release. And I had a video about self-forgiveness. If you guys want to go check that out, go check that video on my channel, because self-forgiveness was really fucking hard too. It was really fucking hard because, like I said previously, sometimes you hurt people and you have to come to the conclusion that that's what you've done to people because you were a hurt person. You see how it's like full circle? Abuse and trauma is full circle, and that's why a lot of us are put on, all of us are put on this earth, to heal. And I believe everything is love. I believe the highest, emotion, vibrational frequency is love. Unfortunately, we have to go through a lot of fucking darkness to love because there was always love. It's just, me and a lot of other people, we needed to experience the opposite of that to really appreciate and understand what love really is at the end of the day, which is understanding and empathy, and such a beautiful fucking frequency to have, honestly. And I want to make more videos on everything that's been going on in my life, and I want to keep up with my spiritual journey more and actually do more videos, maybe like weekly videos of updating you guys on what's happening, because y'all, it's almost been a year since I moved here, and I was crying earlier because I'm such a different person than what I was when I even started my YouTube, and it's such a beautiful life to be in. And I just want to give you all this knowledge for free. Like, I want to sit here and talk to you guys because I'm put on this earth for a reason, to share my experiences. I'm so excited to share a lot of stuff with you guys. And I want to say that I'm really grateful for you guys, and I love you guys a lot, and your comments mean so much to me. Like, I cry because I know that what I'm doing, like, I'm being vulnerable, and I know that by being vulnerable and seeing your comments, I'm doing something good. And so that just makes me really happy to know that I'm helping somebody, because fuck, life gets hard. Life gets hard, and that's the truth. But you wouldn't be handed these things if you weren't tough enough to handle it. And I know that the universe, God, spirit, whatever you resonate with, my love, would never hand you things that you couldn't overcome. And I know the things sometimes that we're handed, this is really fucking unfair. It is so unfair. The point of this is that you can overcome it, and you can, get to the light at the end of the tunnel, regardless of what other people put you through, because you are a strong soul and you are powerful. And this world needs your light, and this world needs you here. And this world needs people like you. So I don't ever want you to stop believing in yourself, or stop or think that you can't do something, or let other people hold power over you and your healing journey, because you are powerful and you are strong. And like I said previously in my other video, you need to have the audacity to put yourself first and understand your power. You need to have the audacity to not put up with people's bullshit, and know that at the end of the day, you got you, and you are strong enough, and I believe in you, and I know you can do it. But yeah, I think that's all for the video today. I just wanted to tap into forgiveness a little bit, because it is complicated. Forgiving is complicated. It just comes with a lot of awareness, and it really is for yourself. And it gets more easier once you continue this healing journey. Once you look inward, you naturally just want to try to forgive. But like I said, if you don't want to, you don't want to, and that's okay. Some people are okay with that. That's fine. I'm just only speaking on my experience. That's 100% your journey. But I know when I didn't forgive, I was just a really angry person, and I did not want to be angry anymore. I was not okay with being angry. I did not want to be in survival mode. I just wanted to chill the fuck out and be happy. But yeah, that's all, my loves. I love you, my friends. I'm so grateful for you all. And just know that whatever life throws your way, you can handle it. Okay, I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.